What's happening, YouTube? How's everyone doing? All good?
Very good, mate. Very good.
Good to be back. You have a couple of weeks off and you kind of get withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, man.
I missed you last week. I missed you.
I missed you too. I missed both of you. I was looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this. I'm very much looking forward to this. What we've got for the Thought Bubble, we've got the final one before the show. Yeah, the show is. Well, it starts tomorrow, doesn't it? Well, it starts tonight. To be fair, Distillery are starting their festivities tonight.
And it's technically a festival, isn't it? It starts basically on Monday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Start on Monday, and they do like the. I think they go to Leeds and do some of the the small bookshops there. What's the one we went to? Is it OK Comics?
OK Comics. Yeah. I'm sure I saw something about Jeff Lemire doing something at OK Comics or one of the shops today or tomorrow.
Yeah. But yeah, and then it all kicks off on Friday. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to a 5-hour coach journey down there tomorrow. Just drinking beers, reading comics, and having a little tickle with Ed Vic.
Oh, nice.
But talking about Ed Vic, he's in the chat. We've got Fuzzy Dunlop. Gladiators, are you ready? We've got someone called Not Quite Buff, aka Not Quite Mint, aka Feed My Sausage. There we go. We've got Bat Dan Dixon. Heyo, folks. How you doing, mate? We've got contestants. Are you ready? Ed knows. Ed does know. Good evening, ding dong. Ding dong bell. Oh, he's been kicked out already. There we go. Evening, Vic. And there we go. So that's everyone. Slow start, but we shall crack on. So how have you all been? How have you both been this week? Reading comics, loving life?
I was all right till I realised I'd got your YouTube, my YouTube, and the StreamYard open. So just then when the intro kicked, my ears exploded. It's better than last week, though, because I've actually got internet and electric. I was just saying to Peter and Charlie that the hamster died last week, so the electric stopped working here in Cornwall.
Jesus, man. What about you, Pete? How have you been?
Not bad, but not bad. I'm having a mare at work, so I'm looking forward to this weekend to just be able to chill and put all that away and just have a few drinky poos.
Nice.
Exactly. Yeah. I've done 2 24-hour shifts this week, so I'm having a well-deserved beer.
Yeah.
Or three. I'm going to line my stomach for tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's like the pre-drinking before the pre-drinking.
Yeah, it's the pre-drink pre-drink before the peak drink arrive. Yeah. But I was telling you guys, there's that I put on the Thought Bubble group chat this what is it, the Weatherspoons game. I don't know if any people in the chat have heard about it. It's basically you join up to this group on Facebook, you sit in Weatherspoons, you take a picture of yourself and a table number and say that I'm out on a jolly, who wants to buy me a drink, and people go on the app and buy you a drink, and then when you go out and someone else is out, you reciprocate that and you buy them a drink. It's just as if the country wasn't skint enough.
Yeah,
it sounds good.
It does sound good. So yeah, and then you can turn
buy
around
a bunch of strangers a drink.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, why not?
Well, you do that when you're pissed anyway, didn't you? So you can just turn, and then on the app you can turn around and say, "Okay, game over now," and then no one buys you drinks anymore. But who's stupid enough to do that?
Yeah, no one does.
That's what
no one does.
Buying a bunch of strangers drinks was what Peter was doing last year with us lot.
Yes, it was. That was the first year we all met. So yes. Good evening, Yuko. Thank you very much for joining. And then Fuzzy Dunlop has lowered the tone as if the Killer Comic Show could get any lower. Make sure you have a pony before you set off. There we go. I assume he's talking about having a shit before I go on a 5-hour coach journey. Yeah. There we go. So, go on, Tom. A Tommy Tit. There we go. So, as we know, the same show every single week, or is it? No, it's different. We have different content. We have engaging content. We have content to keep you on the edge of your seats, to visually stimulate you, tantalizing content. So, without further ado, it's the same every week. It's the business end of the show. That's a jolly little tickle to get your fandangos going, isn't it, eh?
Tickle my fandango.
Tickling your fandangos, and it's not even Friday. You wait till Saturday, big boy. So anyway, we're installed.
Tantalizing
tickle on the fandangos. There we go. That's a mouthful. That's what she said.
That's what yeah. Oh, you got us to it.
That's what she said.
Love it. So this is the killer covers, November 8th, which was New Comic Book Day yesterday. Everyone in the chat knows about this shizzle already. 3 of us pick the comics. I never am in the running. Tom decides to run away with it, and then people come up from behind and smash and grab.
Steady on.
He'll be definitely doing that on Saturday night.
What is going
Tickling
on tonight?
fandangos and approaching from behind. Yeah.
So Peter
Sounds like
tickles the
a good night.
fandangos and comes up from behind
Yeah.
on a Saturday.
It's actually a tantalising tickle on the fandangos. We can't miss out the tantalising, okay?
Tantalising tickle on the
And
fandangos.
then people turn around and
behind.
slap you with the Slazenger. There we go. So anyway,
Where I
this is
come from, we call it a reach around.
Oh, I've lost me tantalising trail of thought now. There we go. So this is the new comic book day killer covers. So up first. Oh, it looks like Pete after a couple of Stellars. We've got for I've gone for Batman 139. I've gone for the Todd McFarlane iconic Breaking of the Bat Toys variant cover. I think this was one of the picks from my FOC a few weeks ago from Slab Crusaders, and I had to get this. I'm looking forward to receiving this. This is great. I hope they do more of them, that they line up, because I remember saying on the show, I purposely want to get these figures now and put them in front of that comic just to do that pose. Yeah, I think it's great. I do think it's good. Does that Bane figure actually exist, Pete? You know?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's one of the McFarlane ones. Yeah, I think
that's wicked. Like, because normally they do these like toy variant covers and stuff, but they don't normally do it. But this looks wicked. Yeah. So I've gone for that, and hopefully, you never know, I might actually win one this week. But who knows?
I do.
It is good. It would be good if it was connecting cover. If it had that, or if it had Robin in the chair and Joker's about to smash his head in. If it would be good if there was one with Barbara Gordon. She opens up the door and Joker pushes through and breaks her back. That'd be quite good.
Do you know what, Charlie? As much murder and mayhem as you got. Death of Superman one would be cool.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, Tom, I jumped in.
No, that's fine, mate. I was trying to think of the word I was trying to think of. But basically, I think these books get a lot of stick, these toy covers, because people are saying it's not an artist. It's not an artistic, no one's drawn it. But I think art's very kind of broad. Yeah. And the fact that this, whoever's taken the photograph and put it in such a good composition, that's artistic in my opinion. And I think they are really well put together covers. I don't care whether people say that they're not. I think they are. I think this is a really, really nice cover, to be fair, Charlie. And like you said, if you had the toys in front of it doing the same action with quality.
No, yeah, that'd be great, I think. And Fuzz has just said he's seen the Superman one.
Oh,
that'd be interesting. Right, so that's my cover. That's my cover of the week. Let's see how that does. Tom, you've got the vote up, ready to go, haven't you?
I do. I just need to hit the start poll job.
Look at this. There we go. Talking about starting polls and everything, would you want to show us your Otto Schmidt?
Otto Schmidt. So yeah, I've gone for the Otto Schmidt variant cover for Poison Ivy issue 16. I love a good kind of bleeding cover / kind of like watercolor style thing. So I saw it and I thought, this is stunning. I just thought this is absolutely amazing. I think it's a little bit like David Mack's kind of stuff, which is what drew my eye to it.
Yeah.
And also like that she's kind of got like the petal tattoos. I think that's quite a cool effect. So it kind of like, although her arm has got the kind of gauntlets on, they almost look like it's just tattooed. It's all part of her body, which is kind of how I expect my Poison Ivy to look, as it were, in my head, if you get my drift.
I love this cover.
Yeah.
I read, and you know what? I've read every single issue, and I've got to say, this is obviously the first Poison Ivy solo book that she's done. There was that one that was meant to be from Stefan Sejic ages ago, when he did Harleen. That was meant to come off the bat of that. They was meant to do a Bane run. They was meant to do an Ivy, Pamela Isley run and stuff, and it never happened. I'm not sure why. I don't know if DC Black Label kind of vetoed it and said no, but then Poison Ivy, this comic came out, and obviously this is more of a comic book instead of telling the story about Pamela Isley, how she became Poison Ivy. This is pretty good, but there's been some fantastic covers out there. There really has for Poison Ivy. I think David Nakayama's done one. I think
our friend David Nakayama, yeah,
there's been a few of them have done. I think it's great. I like that, and I like a water painting type of effect.
I don't know if it is a watercolor, but it's got that kind of look and effect to it, which is what drew me to it.
Peter?
I love it. I think it's stunning. I love it. And I quite like these kind of just single character covers. Do you know what I mean?
Perpetual
comics. Yeah, I just think it's lovely. It's lovely. Nice colouring on it. It's great.
Nice colouring. There we go. So that's a sexy poison over there. And then...
Come on.
The lotto, that's it.
Come on. I mean, that's sexy. Look at that.
That is.
I mean, again, it's Delotto. I don't think you can.
Are you talking about me now or the cover?
Everything? Everyone on screen at the moment. I just think it looks amazing. I love the use of the black kind of so you don't see the full figure, if you know what I mean. He's hiding in the shadows. The use of the light on the shoulders and the helmet. I just think it looks mint. I think it looks really.
Do you know what it seems like? Jesus Christ! I've got all the Batman issues, so I collect them. Like that's on my pull list constantly. And I went through a phase. I think it was Francesco Mattina was doing the variant covers. So I think he done like loads of them from Batman 107 all the way up until 112 or 120 or something. And it was costing me a fortune because I was getting the main cover and I was getting the Mattina covers. Yeah. And now Gabriel Delotto is costing me the same thing because I'm getting the main covers and the Delotto covers. Yeah. And the thing is, they're really great. They're nice pieces of art.
Yeah. So, I mean, my favourite cover artist of all time has always been Alex Ross. I just think everything he does is amazing. But over the last year or so, I don't know, I'm not as drawn to his covers a lot of the time. Whereas Delotto's, I don't think I've seen a bad cover by him. I just love his style. So big fan of his work.
That's nice. It is nice. And you got people saying, Andy, the Oracle has said Otto's work is a mixture of Frisson and Joshua Middleton. Indeed. Bat Danner said Scherz's tattoo Ivy revealed yesterday. Yeah, that was a great cover. That was amazing. Really, really nice one, that one. Chicken Dinner, this one for me. Winner, Chicken Dinner. I think he's talking about you there, Pete.
Thanks.
Andy has said, hope everyone in the chat, hope you are well. And then Phil's Nerdiverse said, has Alex Ross done anything good? I do have to say, right?
Shots fired.
I do have to say, I bought his X-Men run. I think it was. We spoke about this the other week. That was on Slab Crusaders. Yeah. The one thing that I've ever looked at and thought, fucking hell, mate, what was you smoking when you did that? Was the Alex Ross Daredevil, Elektra. Yeah, not good. No, not at all. So, but yeah, genuinely, he's good.
I mean, interesting to do a spotlight at some point on him, I guess. But over the recent few years, he seems to have gone to this trying to use a limited color palette. So a lot of his comic covers are just a couple of colors, and that just doesn't float me. But he's working on obviously Thor at the moment, my favorite character, and I cannot see the covers for Thor jumping out at us.
Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, that's the 3 covers this week. If you just missed it, you got the McFarlane Toys variant cover, Batman 139. You have a fantastic mixture of Otto Schmidt with Frisson and Middleton cover there. Cover C for Poison Over 16. And then you've got Gabriel Delotto, the dark and mysterious Batman 139 cover. So Thomas has got the vote up already. We shall have a look at that at the end of the show. And no one will win anything. And we can say good night. Fuck you. Thank you. Good night. There we go. Right. So, I'm looking forward to reviewing these comics. You know, it's week 44. The comics we chose last week were Ultimate Universe issue number 1, which is the follow-on from Ultimate Fallout. And then we've got the Blood Commandment issue number 1 from the very and uber talented Szymon Kudranski. There we go. So up first, who wants to take this? Tom, you're a Marvel man, aren't you?
I am a Marvel man. Yes. Yeah, sure. So Ultimate Universe is coming off the back of I can't remember what the name with the book is now.
Fallout?
Is it Fallout? Possibly Ultimate Fallout. But basically the Reed Richards, or the creator or whatever he's called, has gone back into the multiverse, and he's taken over this kind of universe, and then he's kind of trapped himself in his own little kind of bubble whilst he's there. And then this comic is all about the heroes coming back together to kind of reshape the world back to what it should be. And this particular issue follows
Ultimate Invasion.
Ultimate Invasion. Thank you, mate. I knew it wasn't Ultimate Fallout, but I couldn't think of what it was. But you were almost there. So this particular issue follows Iron Lad, who is technically Tony Stark. And his journey to try and bring the characters and all the kind of Avengers back together. So you've got main cover by Brian Hitch. You've got the Ultimate Thor variant cover by Ben Harvey. You've got the 1 in 25 by Lionel Francis Yu variant cover. And then you've got the 1 in 500 by the Stefano Castiel, would you
Caselli.
say that is?
Uh,
Caselli.
Caselli, that's the one.
Caselli Virgin variant. That one's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really like that cover. And it
Mhm.
kind of gives you an idea of what this book is about and who it's about. I will be honest, I thought this was great. It was a good Marvel book. And it's
Yeah.
nice to be back in a Marvel book that's enjoyable. And I think the thing is Jonathan Hickman is writing it. And he's an incredible writer. He did a great thing for X-Men. Then it kind of teetered off a little bit. So hopefully he's going to bring back the Marvel Ultimate Universe that we all fell in love with previously, that was a little bit more darker, a bit grittier than the Marvel Universe that we had at the time. I kind of hope that that's where he's going with this. I just kind of hope that it's not a bit of a flash in the pan thing and it's just like a few issues and then it's done.
Yeah.
I hope this is going to be Marvel's jumping on point to listen to us as fans and be like, look, we want a little bit more grit. We want characters to be in jeopardy. We want characters to possibly be gone and not come back for a long time. We're at that kind of... I think everyone that now is interested in comic books don't want to be kind of kiddie handled with kiddie gloves. And you kind of want something more from your comic books. And I thought this gave you that a little bit. So I really enjoyed it. I really, really did enjoy it. So what did you guys think?
Pete?
Yeah, so... It did its job. I want to read more. I want to continue reading on. So it did its job. I always worry with Hickman's writing that I'm not intelligent enough because sometimes it's very confusing. I don't think I was confused in this one because I have read Ultimate Invasion, so I kind of knew what was going on. But it still introduces and jumps around some characters and stuff. So it takes a little while to get your head around who's who. I am much like you guys, but for a lot longer, dare I say. I've been reading comics a long time, so I'm always game for new kind of takes on older characters. I like that, like you just talked about, Tom. I like that jeopardy. I like seeing the characters that I'm used to reading for 30, 40 years actually in a different setting and they could die. So that's why, I've picked that central page there. Wasn't expecting that at all. That kind of that was a proper shit. What's going on here kind of thing. Artwork I thought was great. Really liked it. Centered around Thor. Centered around Thor, so I can't grumble about that. Big Thor fan.
It is Stefano Caselli is the artist.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, mate.
Very, very strong. I'm excited to keep reading it because I don't know if you guys were around at the start, but I was there at the start of the Ultimate Lines and I loved them all.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I think they're the only ones I've got still single issue. All of the Ultimate series, all of the Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man. They're the only things I've got as single issues now. Everything else is kind of a trade or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing what comes next.
I think I messaged both of you and said this is the best Marvel comic I've read it was the most enjoyable Marvel comic I've read in a while, because I've kind of stopped reading Marvel comics, and I think everyone knows who's been on the show, watches the show now. I can't stand reading comics from shit paper. Like, you end up paying stupid money and you're reading it on toilet paper, and you just kind of get bored of it. So I bought this and I read it, and the paper quality is rubbish, but I enjoyed the story. I really did enjoy the story. I didn't read the Ultimate Invasion. I kind of sacked it off, couldn't get into it and stuff. But I really enjoyed this. I was really engaged with it. Like Doctor Doom and Iron Lad, or whatever his name is, working together. Obviously, like Free and Thor and Lady Sif and everything. I thought it was great. I thought it was really enjoyable. And as you said, Pete, he kind of egged me on because I want to read more now. Yeah. I really do want to read more. And I think like the art is fantastic. And I'm like you. Sometimes I read Jonathan Hickman's books and I'm like, oh, Jesus, man, like, have I missed something here? It's totally gone over my head. But this was great. Like, you kind of got the premise of the story. You know what the end game is. Excuse the pun, but it's kind of there.
So, Tom, did you read Ultimate Invasion?
Yes, mate. The lead up to this.
Yeah.
Yes, I did, and I agree with what you said earlier about the Jonathan Hickman. I think in the Ultimate Invasion, I think now, when this book kind of gets halfway, you're all going to want to go back and read it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure there's going to be what they call longevity writing. So there's going to be hints and stuff in there that will tell you what's going to happen.
So right, okay. Am I right in saying, because I'm trying to remember the last few issues of that series, that the Doom character in this is Reed Richards as well? It's their version of Reed.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah.
It's kind of like a Reed Richards Doctor Doom combination, if you like.
Okay.
So basically, the Maker, I think he's called the Maker.
Yeah.
I want to say the Maker, but he's
He's a
basically
young
Reed Richards. Yeah.
From
So
the
he's
Ultimate Fantastic Four comic. So
Yeah.
yeah. So as far as I know, if I can remember, is he's basically written a spreadsheet about this universe, and he's just rewritten everyone's endings and timelines and who's who and who amalgamates with who. And I don't think Doctor Doom, as in I've forgotten the name of Doctor Doom's actual name. Victor Von Doom. Thank you very much, mate. He was never born, but Reed Richards was in Latveria. So he's technically Doctor Doom. So yeah, it's cool. It's a cool concept.
That's the kind of stuff having. I don't want to say getting bored, but when you've read 30 years of X-Men, you kind of it's samey. So that's the kind of stuff that I like. That it's old characters changed and a bit something fresh.
Yeah. Obviously, we've gone through, picked all the panels. Tom, you've picked the panel on the left. Pete, you've picked the one in the middle. I've gone for the one at the right. Now, excuse me if I'm wrong. I might have been overlooking this, but that is Wolverine at the top, no?
It's Black Panther, mate.
Black Panther.
It's Black Panther. Because I was like, is it Black Panther? Is it Wolverine? And I've gone with Wolverine. You've killed my dreams now. I'm still sticking to Wolverine.
Sorry, mate.
Because I thought, in my head, I was like, Jonathan Hickman wrote X-Men, so it makes sense for him to bring in Wolverine. Yes, Wolverine's coming. It's Wolverine, and now it's Black Panther.
Well, I had the same kind of idea, but if you go to the end of the book, they basically say there's going to be a new Ultimate Spider-Man, new Ultimate Black Panther, and then a new Ultimate Fantastic Four. So those are the other 3 books that are coming out.
So one of them was Ultimate X-Men, wasn't it?
That's it, Ultimate X-Men.
Peach Momoko, and it gives you a few page kind of hint.
It doesn't work.
It didn't do anything for us, I have to say.
It didn't. And because obviously that page I picked is out the epilogue, right? So that's at the end, and obviously you got Tony Stark's son in. I'm confused. So I thought Tony Stark had a daughter. Is that's not Tony Stark, is it?
No,
he's Tony Stark.
That's Tony Stark. So Howard.
Yeah. So
Stark
Iron Lad is Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. In right. Got you. Okay.
And probably, cool. I think it was hinted at in the last issue. Probably is the Kang, their version of from the future.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So that links into. I don't know if you guys read it, but if you ever read Young Avengers, it links back to that because that's what happens in that.
Okay. So that's why
it's
I was
clever.
Slightly confused then. Yeah. That's why I was slightly confused. Right, so so that's why I read the epilogue and I see like Wolverine / Black Panther coming. Then I turn it over and see the list of all the comics and I was like, here we go again. Here we go again. And I see that Peach Momoko and I was like,
again on my own.
Shut it. There we go. But I enjoyed it. I want to read it. It's one of the Marvel comics that I've read rarely and been like, I'm in for this. So yeah, so I would definitely look up for reading that. If anyone in the chat's read it, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
So
I'll say about the Peach Momoko Avengers, I thought the Demon Days was really good if you read the story and didn't pay too much attention to the artwork. I think unfortunately her artwork can be quite hard to follow, but the story that she wrote for those books is really good. I hope she's not doing the story for X-Men and someone else is writing it. I just hope that people give the artwork a chance, because if the story's good, it'd be great. But if the artwork that she produces can be a little bit samey and a little bit childish, you guys might not get involved in it. It's a shame, because I felt the same as you, Peter.
I mean, unpopular thought, I guess, but lots of people sing Peach's praises, but it does very little for me, I have to say. It's just not my style,
My cup of tea.
It wasn't your tantalising tickleization, was it?
No.
There we go. Right, okay, cool. So there we go. Moving swiftly on. Here we go. Here we go. Now, this is Blood Commandment issue number 1 from the wonderful and utterly fantastic Szymon Kudranski, who writes his own stuff, draws his own stuff, has his own bloody publishing. The guy's killing it. This is wicked. So this is obviously Blood Commandment issue number 1, released from Image Comics. Szymon Kudranski did the writing and the art and the cover art as well. Man of many, many talents. We've got the main cover, which is obviously by the man in question. The Lost Boys homage cover, which I think is awesome. We've got the Last of Us game homage, which is wicked again. And then you've also got the Demon Head variant. Pete, I'm going to let you take this one away because I know you're a massive fan of Szymon from what he's done for Something Epic.
Yeah, I am. And I mean, just before we start off, obviously you guys... kind of interact with a lot of comic creators and things like that on the social media and all the rest of it. You've had a load of big names on the show. Simon's probably one of the first people that I've kind of added on an Instagram post that's kind of immediately come back and then has started a dialogue with us on Instagram. And, you know, he messages us and he sent us a, you know, a digital copy of the book. He's just a bloody nice chap. You know, he seems really engaging with his fan base. So hats off to him. I think he's amazing.
It was really good though, because I spoke to him. I think we did a post for the show and he kind of responded, and I said, it'd be great to have you on the show. And he was kind of like, my voice at the moment, I'm having trouble with my vocal cords. I don't know if that was his kind of way of turning saying I'm not coming on, or he's genuine, but he doesn't seem to stop working.
I was going to say, I think he's genuinely just mentally busy, you know. So he's off the back of obviously something epic, which is phenomenal. And then this is his you know, own bit of work. He's written this, he's done all the artwork for it. The basic story is you're in this kind of little desolated, kind of in the middle of nowhere village, and it starts off with the father and son out hunting. And the kid doesn't shoot the animal, and there's a bit of dialogue there. Like most of his comics, I would say there's a lot of speech bubbles and thought bubbles, and it is quite a read. It's not a book you can skim through, and there's one page which is literally just covered in speech. So it is quite a challenge to read sometimes, I think.
Is that where they're talking about death?
Yeah,
his mum.
Yeah,
that was a good. I like. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
Saying about the dialogue, I read that page, and as a dyslexic, I thought I'd really struggle, but I really felt the emotion in the page, which made me connect with the words. Sorry, carry on, Peter.
No. So you're absolutely right, Tom. So whilst these pages, and it's the same in Something Epic, sometimes have a lot of dialogue, it's really worth sitting and reading and absorbing it, because his style of writing is just so emotional and heartfelt. It's beautiful, you know. His artwork is phenomenal as well, as you can see yourself. So this story develops basically, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't read it, but basically it turns out that there's something in the woods. Something has come from outside of the area and it attacks a shopkeeper. And then there's this massive kind of revelation at the end, which is hinted at throughout the book, about the father's kind of abilities and things, shall we say. It's got me hooked straight in. I just love it. Looking for it. And I guess the only thing I would end on, it's the same as Something Epic for me. This guy's art is
fantastic.
Beautiful. I want this in some kind of like oversized hardcover. Do you know, like an absolute edition? I want to be able to just drink in the art, because it's phenomenal. Yeah.
Tom?
I've gushed.
I'd agree with Peter. First thing, straight off the bat, the artwork is incredible. I actually haven't read Something is Epic, because I think it's issue 2, hit me a little bit too hard in the feels. So but I am going to go back and read it, because I want to. I want to read it anyway. So artwork is incredible. I think it reminds me very much of when when Greg Capullo joined Spawn and really revolutionized it. It's that gritty kind of feel, which I really liked about it. But I picked the panel on the left-hand side, the first panel, the first kind of page. And for me, the suspension in the first 2 pages of the book, I was like, oh, what is going to happen? And I stupidly didn't read the synopsis for this. I kind of just went in because you guys picked it. I thought, right, I'm not going to read out what it's about. I'm just going to go in completely blind and go from there. It didn't disappoint. This is out of the 2 books. This is my favorite one of the 2. I was emotionally connected to the characters. I didn't see what happened coming, because I was like, this is obviously going to be a horror book. Something horrible is going to happen. So the suspense for me was like, it was killing me from the start, all the way to the point where they go to the shop. And then there's a bit where you see the shopkeeper's vein down the side of his neck. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be something to do with vampires. But is the kid a vampire? Has the kid killed his mom by accident? And I thought, oh my God, all these things started going on my head. And then they go in, it's all nice and controlled. Then they leave and you're like, well, nothing happened. Like, well, what's this all about? So like I said, the suspense was killing me. It was just really good. And then like I said when Peter was talking, the panel where him and the lad are just chatting about death and their mom and stuff really was powerful. And it's only like 4 panels, but there's a lot of dialogue, but it's a really powerful page. And I thought that's got me hook, line, and sinker. I don't care what happens if it's a horror book or not a horror book. I want to know what's going to happen between the relationship between these two characters. I want to see how this develops. I want to see how he's going to explain to his son about what happened to the mom, and what this secret he's holding away from him till he gets old enough. So yeah. And a great way it ended. I thought the twist at the end was great. I mean, obviously you could see it coming eventually, but yeah, really, really good. Definitely up for issue 2.
Do you know what? So I've got, go on, Pete, go on.
I was just going to say, I love hearing that, Tom, because I know you're not a massive horror fan.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't sure whether you would enjoy that. So
I really enjoyed
that you liked it. Yeah.
It's good. I think that the secret he's keeping from him is that obviously the son, as soon as he turns to a teenager, he's going to start growing. He's going to start turning into what it is and stuff like that. But I just thought this was great. I'm just looking at Szymon Kudranski now on Something Epic. He did every single cover, whether it be a variant or anything. He did every single cover. That's amazing, and he's done the same for this. And I've got to think this is awesome. Like, his artistic talent is sensational. Like, I think I remember speaking to Comic Deal, I think it was, and he said sometimes comics like this, where they're so detailed with the imagery and stuff, and so modern, it puts you off. And obviously, it's the same as in Something Epic. But this is just an awesome read. There's so many little nuances in there that tie back to like horror films, like, I don't know, Werewolf in London or Vampires or The Lost Boys, or even the middle panel reminds me of the Last of Us, where Ellie has a conversation with Joel, where they're about to fire the gun and they're in the camp and he's like, look, if everything happens, you've got to go on your own and stuff. I just thought it was great. I just honestly really, really enjoyed this. And I read Marvel's first, and I kind of saved this. I only read this about an hour before I come on the show, and it was wicked. Honestly, I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing how this pans out. And there's little things in there that are similar to what he's done in Something Epic. Yeah. I think it's great. And Andy's just mentioned, he said, I like the trade dress logo. The C is an outline of a vampire tooth. It's the little details. Didn't spot that. What for Something Epic?
No, on the covers.
Oh, it is, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Look at that.
The negative space in the middle is a tooth, isn't it?
Yes, it is a tooth. Look at that. That's wicked. That is. See, Andy, he's still not. He's not on the show, but he's still dropping bombs and mic dropping all over the place. But yeah, Fuzzy said he worked on Spawn from issue 201 onwards too, Tom.
Yeah, I apologise. I just replied to Fuzzy, but I was on the Killer Comic Show account rather than my account, so apologies.
That's all right.
But yes, I didn't know. I actually recognised the artwork, but I didn't think of where I knew it from.
Mm-hmm. And Ed Vickers said, I was surprised how much they showed in this issue. Was expecting more of a cliffhanger. Love the art, but not sure I can see what happens next. Not a fan of horror, to be honest. I love horror comics. I love the horror comics. So I'm well invested in this, and I'm looking forward.
I love the horror.
Love the horror. And then Ed Vickers also said, did they like them using the back cover as before? Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I think overall this comic for me was the read of the week. I read quite a lot this week. Like, I think I read like 7 or 8 comics, and I enjoyed this. This was great. So thanks for picking.
I'd agree, actually, to be fair, mate. I've read I've managed to catch up with quite a few, and I would say this, out of everything, gave me the most emotional connection to a book.
Yeah, it was great. So, right, we're at that time. Who wants a jingle? Jingle, 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 jingle. Jingle.
That was me playing the piano.
Oh, I can't wait for it. I'm really looking forward to it. I've just got to say straight off the bat, Tom, I'm absolutely gutted and devastated that you're not coming this year. I think you using us moving to Cornwall is a shit excuse. I just think if you didn't want to travel them 15,000 miles to get to Thought Bubble, you shouldn't have moved there, mate. I'm just going to say that. But it's fine. He's found his calling. Yeah. He's turning into a Viking. You've got to love him for that. There we go. He's found his calling. He's gone back to his homage. There we go. But this is it. This is the last road to Thought Bubble before the show, before we attend the show on Friday, all the way until Monday. But I'm looking forward to it. I know you and Pete love who we're going to be doing this week. So without further ado, we have done already. We've done John Lee's, which was great. We did taleneted. We've done Jeff Lemire, and obviously this week is the man, the myth, the legend. It is number Thor. That's ironic, isn't it? It's Jason Aaron. Now, you see what I did? That was pre-planned. That is pre-planned. There we go.
That was awful.
That was all. It wasn't awful. How dare you? There we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So
that was awful.
There we go.
I got it. Yeah.
Who wants to take it away? Go on, Peter.
Go on, Pete.
Okie dokie. So this is. I mean, I pulled the slides together for this a week or so ago. I think it was. And
yes.
I have to admit, I don't think I'd appreciated how much work this guy has done that I love. Do you know what I mean? I just kept Googling and finding more and more and more. So I'm afraid I'm going to be gushing as we go through this because there are some incredible pieces of work.
Bring a flannel.
Yeah, but I've got a flannel handy. Yeah.
Get your umbrellas, people.
So this guy's amazing. Jason Aaron, he's award-winning comic book writer, as you know. Some of his most popular work, I guess, is on the Thor run, which we know they absolutely destroyed when they did Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes.
Sadly. Be interested to see what he's got to say about that. I know, Charlie, you've hopefully got an interview lined up with him. Be interested to know what he thinks about the movie. He
must have had some input, no? He must have done.
He would have to a certain extent, but I think it would have been taken out of his hands 100% by Marvel.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's a shame because obviously he created the character of Gore, and I think Christian Bale did a good job of Gore. I just think the rest of the movie was trying.
Yeah.
It's Jane Foster that's the problem with the movie, because what happens in the book and how she becomes Thor and why she becomes Thor and then how she fights her cancer was just utilized as comedy value in the film, which really, in the nice way possible, and excuse my language, just pissed me right off.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Because I just thought, what you're doing is making a joke of something that actually was really tragic in the books, and it's the tragicness in the books that made it a fucking good series.
Yeah,
and I think Jason Aaron would have been like, what the fuck have you actually done? Because that was an iconic part of the run.
Yeah.
It was one of the most like heart-wrenching things where you kind of see Thor actually enter his human state more and think, I actually really feel for this woman and like I will do anything to save her. And then in the film, it was just like, oh well, yeah, she's got the big C. Oh well, it's all right. Yeah, well, yeah.
It was just brushed over completely.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
No.
He's also, you know, I mean, we're going to touch on some of his work as we go through, but he's done work on a whole host of Marvel characters. He's also done Star Wars, and then he's got some stunning creator-owned work. Southern Bastards and obviously Scalped, which is mega popular. I've not read Scalped, but I keep being told it's amazing, so that's the one I need to jump on. But yeah, done a lot of good work.
Here we go. And then obviously you can follow him over on Instagram at Jason Aaron and Twitter at Jason Aaron as well.
So this is his first work. This is really interesting. So this was a kind of a Marvel try thing where you could write in and they would pick the best story to put as an additional tale in Wolverine 175. So he kind of won it in a competition, as it were, submitted the story and they put it in the book. I had a quick read of it because I've never seen this one before, and it is brilliant. For a first-time published bit of work, it gets the character of Wolverine. Basically, he emerges from some forest area and ends up kind of side by side with this very religious lady who's got a bust tire, and basically he's trying to move her on because he knows he's being hunted by all these guys, and she wants him to change her tire. So there's a lot of religious context in it.
Sorry, Pete, stop. Yeah. You've been told by Andy to stop everything you are doing now and go and read. Okay,
I'll just jump off now.
Okay, cool. So he's gone to read Scout, but no, they've all taken me now. They've all gone to read Scout.
Reddit's mint. It's mint. A speed Reddit. You know,
it's fucking quality, mate.
It's fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome.
So this is his first published work, and it was a great little tale. I'd recommend picking that one up if you can get it.
It does look great though. It does look really, really good. Yeah. Like I like that Wolverine.
But you know what? It's a hard hitting. If you've read Southern Bastards, you know he's a real emotional religion writer. You get that straight away. So the lady, spoilers, but the lady, you can see it on the panel there. The lady gets shot and dies. You know, and it's heart wrenching. It's a very good little tale.
And that's a good man, Wolverine 175. Wicked. There we go, look.
So then he's got his creator-owned kind of stuff. Other side, which I've not read. Scalped, which I've heard everybody says is amazing. So I can't believe I've not picked it up yet. Have you guys read Scalped?
I have not, but Andy talks very highly of it.
Andy loves it.
Andy is always saying it's great, but also John Lees, who obviously is the writer of Sync and things like that, when he was on my show a little while ago, credited Scalped as being one of the best comics he's ever written, and he's a bit of a, I mean, he kind of was in awe of Jason Aaron. So, you know, if John Lees is saying it's good, and Andy.
He's a team up with Brian K. Vaughan, isn't it? And Brian K. Vaughan is just a god among men with writers, isn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Moving on then to Southern Bastards. Southern Bastards is a book that was never on my radar, but I picked it up because it was in one of these Forbidden Planet kind of cheap graphic novel sale things.
Oh, cool.
I'd give it a go. It is amazing. Absolutely
you tight
amazing.
Bastard.
I
got it because it was a quid.
Yeah. So it's just great. It's a great story of a guy going back to his hometown where his dad was the sheriff and died. And he goes back for the funeral, basically, and then encounters a corrupt system, basically. I'm on to volume 3 now, and it's brilliant.
How many is there?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think, like I say, I'm on to, I think, volume 3. I can't remember if it actually ends or not. I think someone said it was he didn't finish it, but I need to look into it. But no, I'm not going to spoil it. All I'll say is at the end of volume 1, there's like a massive twist which I didn't see coming at all, because I thought I knew who the main character in the book was and what was happening and all the rest of it. And that goes all tits up.
I'm hoping that Travelling Man have this on their stand, because they had a load of them last year, like who they had like a load of John Lee's books that ironically Travelling Man was selling them cheaper than John Lee's was selling them on his stand. So hopefully they'll have that. I can pick that up and get that sold, because I don't think Amazon's going to be able to get it.
Well worth a read. I like that one.
Okay, cool. There we go. Boom.
He then did a whole host of stuff for. Oh, Chris will be in the know. That's a shame. Hopefully you'll pick it up. He did a whole host of Marvel books. Wolverine, obviously, around the same time he did Star Wars. He did Doctor Strange. I hadn't realised it was him. This is what I'm saying when I started looking into
That's a shite series.
Yeah,
it's not the best. When I started doing the slides for this, I started realizing that he's written a lot of books that I read. You know.
Yeah.
The Doctor Strange
know it was him.
wasn't the good.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider was superb. That's a very good.
Is that the Danny Ketch versus Johnny Blaze?
Johnny Blaze, he brings them both back, and the kind of I think the hell kicks out a load of demons or something, and they've got to hunt them down.
I think that's the only Ghost Rider run I've ever read.
Yeah. Good series.
Same,
I didn't know that was Jason Aaron until you did the slice this, and I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like he's done, and he seems to do characters like that good. Like, do you know what I mean? He seems to do that, like the Thor and stuff like that. It seems to really work. He seems to have a character that he likes to work with, and like an environment that he likes to set him up with and everything.
Yeah. And I think he does decent runs as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just like a couple
He's got the runs.
He's got the runs, apparently.
He's got the runs.
It goes around.
Yeah. Hopefully that will subside by tomorrow when he's at Thought Bubble. I mean, that could be a nightmare. Yeah. Can I just ask you guys both a very random question? As we've been over the years, we've been talking about comic books and stuff, and we've always said, "Oh, I didn't realize so and so wrote that, but I've read that." Do you think since we've, as a group, collectively done YouTube, like Peter with your channel, Charlie with yours, me with my own originally, that we now look at writers rather than picking a book up because it's got a cool artwork? Like I find now I'm really interested in what a writer has done. So Daniel Warren Johnson, I'm more interested in his writing than I am his artwork. Yeah. And that's all come from doing YouTube. I just wondered if you guys felt the same.
I absolutely agree, Tom. And I think there's something changed with almost what I'll term the celebrity status of writers over the years, because back in the day, I would read a run of X-Men, Spider-Man, whatever it may be. I wouldn't even acknowledge who the writer was. I just read the comic. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now I'm much more looking at, Daniel Warren Johnson, for example, he's got a new series. I'll pick that up because it's him, not necessarily because of the character he's writing.
Yeah. I've got literally since doing this show, sorry to cut you off, Pete, go on, mate. Right. Since doing this show, I would say massive shout out to Andy from my side anyway, for introducing me to the comics and stuff, because I was very much Marvel, DC Boom Studios. Whereas now you've got like, I don't know, Mad Cave Comics, you've got Dark Horse Comics, and all the indie comics. So yeah, so since doing the show, I now literally, I don't go by the cover art. Oh, it's Marvel, I've got to pick it up. I go by the story and the writer because I'm very much into like, I want to read that because I know how good they are.
Yeah.
What was you going to say, Pete? Sorry, mate, I cut you off.
I mean, there's something I'm going to show off in a little bit, but you know, just using it as an example for what Tom's saying, a book called Murder Falcon would never come into my radar.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah,
pick up Murder Falcon, but because it's Daniel Warren Johnson, I'll commit to it and buy, you know, the full thing. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would agree. Andy got me banging to indies, and that's probably, I would say, 80% of my reading these days is indie books.
Yeah, off the shelves, I said Thor had Butcher Arc is the only thing he's written that's blown me away. I adore the first 2 volumes of Scouts, but it dipped for me in the middle volumes before making a comeback. And he's got some volumes. Yeah, you got some volumes sitting on your shelves.
Yeah,
I've not read the Hod Butcher one. Is that the sequel to the God Butcher?
that was his brother.
His brother Hod.
There we go.
I'm joking. I'm sorry.
Big guns. Boom, boom.
Yeah, Tom. Then he did a run on Avengers, which was very, very cool. I, again, didn't realise that he was the writer on Wolverine and the X-Men. I know that series gets a lot of love. I just couldn't get away with the art style on that, and I'm not a fan of... What's that artist called again? I can't remember. But
Pacello. Is it Chris Pacello?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, the one in the middle. I don't know if you guys have read this. This is a fucking phenomenal series. This is Thanos Rising. It basically tells the story of Thanos's birth and then how he becomes what he becomes in later life. And it is horrific in terms of the stuff he does.
Good.
I love it.
But why he does what he does.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense why he becomes an asshole. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah. And there are just, for me, it's a bit like Stray Dogs. There are pages where I think I know what's coming and I don't want to turn the page because it's just going to be sick. But yeah, that's an amazing series. If you've not read that one, recommend you go and grabbing that one.
There we go, the big guns. I thought this slide was just going to be a picture of Tom. That's when the calendar comes out on November the 1st. November the 3rd. Yeah.
It was originally, but this show is technically PG, so...
PG. It's about as PG as my tea bags. There we go.
There we go.
Again, like I say, just keep cracking on with more and more bloody stuff that he's put out. He's done the Incredible Hulk run. That's not the best Incredible Hulk run, but it's not bad.
For me, that I know it's the art. Look at the proportion of Hulk is all wrong.
Yeah,
all wrong. Jesus. Anyway, so
is this the one where he's like he's worshipped? Is that one?
He's kind of I think I only read the first couple of issues. He looks like a homeless guy. He's got like a massive beard, and I think he's underground fighting the Moloids or something. And
that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the one.
He's got like a throne and shit. Yeah,
it's just not the best.
And he sits there and welcomes him in for the next fight and stuff. Yeah.
He then did Penguin from the Joker's Asylum. I've not read that one, but I think it's probably some of he's not done a lot of DC work, so that's one of his main DC books. Not picked that one up. And then he was the writer on Original Sin, which was disappointing.
I did not know that.
I didn't think that was a good series. So
it's not a good series, but it definitely sets up some good shit.
Yeah. So this, for anyone that doesn't know, this is the one where the Watcher's eyes get stolen,
nice.
And he gets murdered. So yeah, it is interesting, I guess.
Who shot the Watcher?
So that's those ones. And then,
sorry,
I mean, I'm a huge Thor fan. This probably is the best Thor run.
Yeah,
you know, it's just tremendous. It introduces Wood to the God Butcher. I love the way he does kind of 3 different time periods in his book, and it just flows beautifully. You know, he introduced her to, like I say, the God Butcher and the whole God Bomb series.
Yeah,
he then gives her, you know, the Mighty Thor, which is an amazing jump to the character, and like Tom said earlier, a heartbreaking story. He gives her the Unworthy Thor, just hit after hit after hit on this one.
His Thor run was just absolutely phenomenal. Like, I think if you get a chance to go and read God of Thunder, it was one of the best Thor runs. It got me back into Thor.
Yeah.
And then if you go and read Thor, the Mighty Thor, where Jane Foster is Thor, before you find out she's Thor, is again a great run. And like you said, so emotional. So emotional.
There's only 2 people that I've ever really enjoyed doing Thor, and it's Jason Aaron and Donny Cates. I thought the Donny
Yeah.
Cates one, and I still think the Donny Cates one is great.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy it. Like his character development is so far removed from what Jason Aaron did, but yet it's still in keeping what Jason Aaron laid the path for. So, but yeah, this is a great one. Like Thor, I was never a massive Thor character, like lover. Didn't really like. He was okay, but then after reading this, I was kind of like, wow, you've totally changed my perspective of it from the words you've written on a bit of paper and the art that's gone with it. I'm invested in this character now.
And I'm really hoping, so in this series, like I say, you get the 3 different time periods, and you get the kind of the time period during the Viking days where he's on Earth and he's been, he's just kind of there, living life to the fullest, as it were. It's not the moral character we know.
Yeah.
There's been hints and rumours that that's what the next Thor movie is going to be trying to emulate. Now, I would love that. A more serious battle version of Thor,
They've got to do something to come back from Love and Thunder. They have to, because I think after Thor 1, 2, that were quite good. They've kind of killed it. And a lot of people, like I think obviously people know and people will agree, that it was the least favourite Thor film. The way that we touched on at the beginning, the way that what they did with like Jane Foster and stuff like that. I think the only way to save that is to come back with a massive epic Thor film that kind of goes back to its roots. And I'd like to see Donald Blake appear in one of them.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'd like to see like that whole thing is wicked.
Yeah. That story that Donny Cates did of Donald Blake.
That was awesome. Yeah. It was awesome because you kind of got 5 or 6 issues of just Donald Blake. Yeah. And it was wicked.
But I love the idea of like nobody knows where Donald Blake goes when Thor turns from Donald Blake to Thor. So bringing that into it was just great.
Yeah.
There we go. Look, Andy's just said Love and Thunder was my nicknames for Tom and Charlie.
I'm Love, right?
Yeah.
I'll be showing him Love and Thunder from Friday night.
Not me.
So there we go. There we go.
Yeah, very cool.
There we go.
Yeah. We've then got this. This is War of Realms. Again, I didn't realise he wrote this. I've not read this yet. I've got the omnibus to read, but I've never managed to get into it yet. I don't know why I've not read this, because this would be right up my street.
This was massive. It was probably, 2020, I think this came out, or 2019, or 2019, it says on the screen.
I think I just stay away from big events. Do you know what I mean?
It was wicked. Honestly, I think this was one of my favourite ones. Like Delotto did some amazing covers for this. He did a Thor one. I'll have to pull it out, Pete. You've got it, yeah. I was going to say, if you didn't, I'll bring it for you from Thought Bubble. But this was really, really enjoyable. I really, really enjoyed this. But again, it kind of got to the point where I think a lot of people were like, "Fuck me, it's just enough. This is going to be another epic event that's going to lead to nothing." But what Jason Aaron did here, working with Russell Dalton, who've done these amazing connecting covers, they created something here that I wish was still going on now. I wish I'd still dip in and out of it because this was awesome.
You read this one, Tom?
I have, mate, and I would probably disagree with Charlie on that one. I didn't like War of the Realms. I thought it was a pointless exercise. But it had good elements in it.
Yeah.
And like Charlie said, there's an array of beautiful covers. So if you're going to buy it for covers, great. Yeah. But as a story, I thought it really lacked something. I thought this was one of Jason Aaron's kind of weakest runs, but that's me personally.
Yeah, well, like I say, I've picked up the omnibus, which I think contains all the tie-ins on the main story. I'll always just read the main story and flick through
the tie-ins. Again, the tie-ins just took you all over the place. But I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a good read. Go for it, yeah. No, it is The World at War. This
is his current series. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. I think it's up to issue 9 now. Again, creator owned. I don't know a great deal about this one. Okay. It looks interesting. The covers look nice. It's not a one that's been on my radar at all. I don't think I didn't even hear it. Didn't even know about this. No. Not seeing anybody talking about it as such. So I'm going to go back and I'm hoping at Thought Bubble there might be a trade paperback or something. I'm going to pick one up and get into that one. So yeah, interesting, but I've not read any of that one.
Do you know what it's about, Pete? Or
nah.
I guess the end of the world.
Probably. There we go.
I think it starts off with some blokes in a dinghy, with an umbrella.
That's actually that's actually Tom and Phil on their way to Thought Bubble.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
and then the middle one is Tom and Phil when they didn't make it to Thought Bubble. Yeah. And then the end.
And the last one is Phil getting to Thought Bubble and me not making it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds exactly what it'll be about. Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? There we go. Right, look at
Oh,
this.
sweet Jesus. So again, I didn't realize this is one of my favorite reads of the last couple of years. The entire series. And I don't know why, but I just didn't realize it was him.
Is this the one where he's the leader of the hand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly,
Nice.
Tom, if you've not read it, this is
No, I haven't, mate, no.
And again, you know, because I know you like books that you connect to on an emotional level. This is heartbreaking. You know, it goes all through his childhood, and it hints at why he became the Punisher, which is a story we've never really known before in terms of. Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but yeah, it links very well in the past with what happened to him. This is probably my read of the last few years. I've got an obscene amount of these covers to take to him on Saturday. It's just amazing. So over the moon to realise that he did this book.
Yeah, it does. This was awesome. This was awesome. Like Punisher, you told me to read the new run of Punisher, which I haven't done yet.
Yeah.
How would you say that compares to this?
Well, this is the new. The new run of Punisher has just started this week, which is not Frank Castle. It's somebody taking over. This is, I think, I might be wrong, but I think it's about 12 issues. There's 2 trade paperback. Well, the first trade paperback's definitely out. I would definitely pick this up, even if you're not a Punisher fan. I would just pick the first issue up and see what you think of it.
Because I said to you, I was like, I'm not reading this because I don't like the logo. Do you remember? And I said, I don't like the new logo. And you was like, no, give it a read. Give it a read. Definitely give it a read.
Makes sense. The logo makes sense.
Okay.
In it, you know,
Right.
And the deeper you get into the story, there's a phenomenal fight with Ares, the god of war, which is just amazing. Yeah.
Definitely give that a read. Perfect.
And that's just from his own webpage. Well worth going checking out his website. He interacts with the fans quite a bit. There's an email address there, so you can email him and his agent. So I've done that and requested an interview at some point. He just comes across as a nice guy. So yeah, well worth checking him out.
Am I right in saying that he's doing the current Avengers run as well?
I'm not 100% sure, Tom. I'm not sure.
I'll have a Google. I'll have a quick Google. I don't want to claim something it's not right.
Go for it. Right, Andy's just put a really interesting question on. Why do you think we didn't notice the writer on these titles?
So for Punisher, if I'm being really honest, Andy, it's so linked to the Daredevil run. Who's doing that at the moment? Is it Chip Zdarsky?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just assumed it was Zdarsky doing this as well. So I don't know why I didn't pick up on it.
Yeah, do you know what? I just didn't. The big thing for me was that I looked at this and was just like, I don't know. I honestly, it just didn't even click that it was Jason Aaron.
Yeah.
It just really wouldn't.
The thing for me is this realization, pulling these slides together, that this guy should be in my brain because he's written so many good books that I loved, and yet he's not there. Do you know what I mean? And I don't quite know why. So yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely. And then so we got that, and then was there another slide, Pete? Did you do another slide? No, you didn't do another slide.
Nope.
But thanks for this because it's going to cost me money because I now want to go and buy Southern Bastards. I now want to go and read The Punisher, which I'm going to pick up in trade paperback. I want to read the Tom and Phil love story.
Me too.
I'm going to find that.
I'm hoping that's R-rated. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping there's some good.
Mate, it's more than R-rated. It's a bit, it's higher rated than that.
Yeah.
If it's R-rated, you'll be on the edge of your seats, wouldn't you, Tommy?
Well, put it this way, Pete, Phil probably couldn't sit on the edge of his seat.
I was giving a wrestling reference. Edge, R-rated superstar. No, you didn't get it.
Yeah, I know, mate. I'm with you.
Okay, cool. Yeah. There we go. Is Jason Aaron at now exclusively at DC? I don't think so because he's writing a Marvel book.
Well, he's doing Punisher.
Yeah.
No, he's finished on Punisher now. That series is finished.
Oh,
so I don't think he's doing anything other than he's create our own stuff at the moment. I could be wrong, but there was nothing on his website that jumped out, Phil.
I love this picture though. It's him in it. Look, he's there and he's got his stories, and that's pretty cool. Right, so that was that. Pete, that was wicked, man. That was awesome.
Well done, Pete. Thanks,
that was
mate.
a perfect lead up to Thought Bubble starting from tomorrow. So
Now,
there we
Pete,
go.
I'm going to be sending my my copy of The Mighty Thor to you in the post to get signed for me tomorrow. Is that all right? Going to send it special delivery.
No bother at all. No bother at all.
He's going to send it by pigeon.
By
There we
pigeon. With the smoke signals to tell you what you do with
It's
it.
just it's going to foam on you and just send it to you. Right, so we're at the stage of the show now where it's the final, the cut-off top 3. Now, we say the same thing every single week. FOC, if you don't know it by now, then there's no point in explaining it because you probably would have already missed the cut-off date. But with Slab Crusaders, it is 9 o'clock every Sunday night. So if you see a comic that you want from this show and you scan a QR code, head over there and buy it, because the last thing you want to do is think, shit, I should have got that comic, and you won't be able to get it. And I tell you what, in my own opinion, and I think Phil and Pete and Tom will agree, you ain't going to get a cheaper comic in a bag and board in the quality and quantity that you will be able to get it from Slab Crusaders. And we're not just saying that. We're not sponsored by Slab Crusaders, and not at all. We just do this as part of the show because James is a really good guy. He's got a really good setup, and we've got our pull list with him, and it's just good to give a shout out to someone that actually does something fantastic for the community, and this guy absolutely smashes it every single time. So up first, I've gone for Gummer issue number 1. This is from Titan Books. This is a creator-owned, written and drawn by Ji-Hyung Lee. This, for me, looks freaky as hell. It looks like a cross between Samara from The Ring and Gollum. And I'm all for it. I am. It really, really is. There's 5 issues. It's this one is the beginning of her issue number 1. It looks awesome. And this is a pure cover buy for me. It looks wicked.
I like that. Yeah,
There's quite a lot of hype around this book, isn't there?
Yeah,
quite a lot, because he's looking, because obviously he's South Korean, isn't he? Is he Korean?
Yeah.
So the idea behind this is it's Korean folklore,
right?
So he's bringing something that no one's ever written before or read before in the kind of Western world. So it's interesting that he's doing that. So it's got quite a lot of hype behind it, this book.
That's interesting to know, and I think he's done over on his Instagram. I think it's his Instagram or Twitter. He's released some like sketches and drawings of this because he's been hyping it for quite a while. I think this has been like oncoming for the past 3 or 4 months. But yeah, this looks interesting. I just want to dip out into the chat. Perpetual's just said I'd read this, not for the faint-hearted. There we go. And he's also said Jason Aaron on Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that'll be
I'd buy that.
Do you know why? I don't think they'd ever do that though, because they know.
I don't think he'd do it.
No, I don't think.
And I think it become too good a Spider-Man book that they'd never be able to go back to anyone else.
No.
So there we go. And yes, that cover looks freaky as fuck. If I remember rightly, I think that was me saying to Peter after one banana shot, please sir, can I have one more?
More shots.
I think more shots, more. With Al Ewing's hand, more, give me the more. There we go. Right, so that was one I picked. Pete.
I know, right? I know it's cheesy as out, but this harks back to the days when I used to read comics, regularly from Marvel. You've got Daredevil in his black armor costume, which he had for a good while, which was interesting. But the thing that pulled us into this really is that image of Sabretooth. That's the Sabretooth I remember and love.
Yeah.
So I loved him when he was in that kind of style, fighting Wolverine. There's this tremendous run of X Factor, I think it is, where he's fighting Archangel.
Yeah.
So this is a pure nostalgia buy for me. Now, it might be dog shit, but I'm going to pick it up and just give it a go, I think, and just see if it's any good, because it looks interesting. So this is really a nostalgia buy more than anything.
Sorry, Pete.
I'm done.
There we go. You've been doing so well for these last 6 weeks, mate.
I was trying.
So well. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to read this.
Yeah.
I like Daredevil. I like The Run, and I like Mark Bagley. So yeah, why not? There we go.
Very 80s.
Oh, it's
It is
incredibly
very
80s.
80s.
Yeah.
It
Love
is
it.
very 80s. Yeah, look, you're getting slated now, Pete. What the fuck is this, Pete? There we go.
Well,
Might
everyone's
be.
just got on the Andy bagwagon. Andy says something, everyone's like, yeah.
That's it. There we go.
You'll all be buying it. I bet you'll all buy it to have a bit of a read.
Well, apparently, Andy said he's read this, and it's not for the faint-hearted. So I'm just rehashing a comment that he made for Guma. There we go. So this is the main cover. This, I don't know. This is some shit Pete's picked. He won't be back next week, guys. Don't worry about it. There we go. Right, Tom, you told me to pick one, so I went for this.
Yes. I would have picked this, to be fair.
I know you would. That's why. This is
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, it is. So Amazing Spider-Man issue 40, Marvel Comics, and it's the J. Scott Campbell variant, the Ski Charlotte variant. Have you seen the other version of this?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anything J. Scott Campbell I'm going to buy. So I'm just going to scan the code now. I can buy this.
But yeah, this is obviously a J. Scott Campbell. A J. Scott Campbell for £3.50.
Yeah, mate, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong at all, can you?
But do you know what? When they put a J. Scott Campbell on an Amazing Spider-Man comic nowadays, I always think they just obviously can't shift enough Spider-Man comics.
It's
because whatever they put, exactly, yeah, they've just really ruined Spider-Man in the last, like, let's say 5 years. I'd say.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 40 Marvel Comics J. Scott Campbell, and then I picked another one. Because I thought it was
controversial.
Now these Disney villains. Oh, that was subtle tones there. Subtle tones. Disney. I lost my trail of thought there. I went off to another wonderland. I was having a little tantalising tickle there of me. Of my grot bags. Here we go. The Disney villains. Cruella de Vil issue number 1 from Dynamite. This is the cover. The Mariana Puglia action figure variant. They've done some good comics. They've done they did the Scar one. They've obviously done this one, and I've enjoyed reading this. I
liked Scar. That was good. So, yeah.
Scar was good. I think was it Scar, and who else did they do? Maleficent. I think they did 2 or 3 issues of her. I think they did 2 or 3 issues of Scar. Hades, yeah. Hades yeah. But that was interesting. So yeah, so that is the FOC.
FOCU.
Thank fuck it's Friday tomorrow. There we go. Killer Indie Picks, November 15th. Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
Speak of it.
Look at that.
Sif by bloody magic.
Honestly, it's friggin' amazing. So this is coming to the end of the series now. This has got movie or mini series written all over it for me. I think you could make this as an epic kind of show. Loving everything about this. So looking forward to getting the latest issue. And then it's going to take a little hiatus for a while, I think, and hopefully come back strong.
In March 2024 it comes out. I think someone in the chat said.
Oh, great. Tremendous. So, yeah, this is well worth picking up. And like I said earlier, I cannot wait to see this as a big hardcover or something. I love it. It's great.
This is honestly, Tom, I totally get where you're coming from. The issue number 2 kind of really hit you in the feels. I was reading the Many Deaths of Layla Starr, and the issue number, well, I think it was one of them, and it really hit me. It literally was released the same time as my mum died. So I was kind of like, I got to switch off in this, and it's in a way, it's really good that a comic can kind of do that.
Yeah.
Because the way that you can kind of, like, most people will just pick up a comic, read it, and have no ties to it. But when you're so invested in the comic and the writer, the artist, and the character development and narrative and stuff like that, you kind of become the story. It sounds really weird, but especially with this, you kind of get involved in that world of, like, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and all these characters come. Do you know what I mean? It's like you open that forbidden door and you can enter and you can be something that you want to be. It's just your imagination goes wild with this. And honestly, Szymon Kudranski creating this is fantastic. It is literally, excuse the pun, but it is something epic, and it's just great. It's just great. It is really, really interesting. So yes, it's come to an end until March 2024. It's a great pick, Pete.
I might get that one in trade, I think.
Yeah.
I think you'd miss out if you didn't, mate. Honestly.
Yeah. So I've gone for Big Game issue 5. This is the final issue, and it is a double spreader. Or is it? It's a double spreader. So this is double the size. It's a double double spreader. So this is it. So the final issue, double length conclusion to the best company crossover in years. We get to see all the beloved Mark Miller fan favorites back in this one, or do we? But Nemesis is on that murder train.
That's it. See, I was pissed off last week because there was obviously my favourite book of the year. He apparently made an appearance in it, but he didn't show up. No. And I was a bit pissed off with that because I absolutely love that. And I think it's true what Andy says. Something epic will have tie in with blood commandments, I reckon. So for that, and I reckon this is not all it seems.
I reckon the lady on the front there with the wand, the magic order people are going to do a shit, because it's been hinted at all the way through about them saying to her, you can't do it, you can't interfere, blah blah blah. I think she's going to do some kind of
I think so.
thing and reset it.
Yeah,
I
I think you're right, which would be a really shit way of doing it, considering how good it's been. Yeah,
I think I really like, after seeing issue number 4 with the cover with the man from King of Spies in there, right? I really hope he makes an appearance, because why would you not put him on there? Are you just putting that on there for pure cover buys? I hope there's something in that. I really do. But I think Nemesis, I've got his trade paperback coming, and honestly, I'm so invested in to read that character now.
Very cool.
Do you know what I think the problem with this, if they end it with everyone coming back and they beat all the bad guys, is it will almost, apart from bringing Nemesis to people like you, Charlie, and myself, who've never read it before, that now want to read it, and the Magic Order, apart from that, this is a pretty pointless book if they bring everyone back.
Yeah.
And it'll be really shit if that happens, because we invested 5 issues into this, we've loved it, and then if they just reset the whole universe at the end of it, it's like, well, what was that 5 issues about?
So all I'll say is there's precedent for this. Have you guys read Magic Order?
I know, but I want to.
I've read issue 1.
I'll not spoil it then. So the first mini series of Magic Order, I think, leads very much into what will happen in this book.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Roger.
Okay. You've read King of Spies, haven't you? You've read about like Roland King and stuff. Yeah. No.
He's read that book.
He's read that one. This was wicked. I'm really, really enjoying this, and it's the 5th issue. I can't say how they're going to tie it in, and this is just going to drop a whole massive Millerverse bomb and kill everyone. But
mate, that'd be amazing.
Pointless, wouldn't it?
Like her spell completely fucks up and she just kills everybody instead.
That's it. Yeah. And she's like, oh shit. So that's that one. And then another one from Image. I've gone for Fish Flies, issue number 3. I thought, do you know what? It was only fitting that Jeff Lemire is going to be there on Saturday. We've read issues number 1. We've read issue number 2. And I, for one, just want to sit back and become more confused and read issue number 3. So why not? So
I've not
yes.
read issue 2 yet. Does it get any better than issue 1?
It does, in a weird, fucked up, does it kind of get better kind of way. If that makes sense. That's how confused I am about Jeff Lemire's writing. But he's fantastic. He's really good at what he does. But I would just like to know if it's purposely planned that he does it so it drops off in an issue. Because I don't know. I don't think it's just me, but it seems to happen in every single comic he does. Like when we did the Creative Spotlight, we touched on it. Like Family Tree did it. He ran for 12 issues. Issues 5, 6, and 7. You could have gone without that. And then you had Maze book. Yeah, that kind of switched off. So yeah, 100%. So here, someone photoshopped that cover looking for Charlie after TP. I'll do it myself. That's not a problem. Granny Fox, have you seen his tantalising tickle fidget spinner or whatever we were saying? That's changed about 6 times since the start of the show. Peter's just like, you can't actually call that. We should find out what happens when you call that number.
Yeah, we should. I should ring it, shouldn't I?
Well, shall I try it? Let me try it.
Go on, try
what is it? So it's an American number. Let's try this. Right. What is it? 001.
519.
No, it's got to be 001 first, isn't it? So it'll be 001 519
591
519
776
654
55
5542
42.
There we go. It's in Canada. I'm calling Canada.
This is costing you about $3,000.
Probably. No one's going to answer. I just want to say I've got news on Granny Fox.
Wouldn't that be awesome if it was Jeff Lemire picks up the phone?
Yeah, literally Jeff Lemire picks up and goes, hello, I can't answer at the moment. I'm on the fucking plane to England.
After tone, record message.
No, I don't know who that is.
You don't want to leave a message?
Not recording a message. I'm not leaving a message. Not happening. That call probably just cost me about 30 quid.
Congratulations, you're live on the Killer Comic Show.
He just said, we're really concerned about where Francis Fox is. We've seen
Where
their
is
missing
she?
picture.
But yeah, so you give the number a call, and if you get through, I did dial that number right, didn't I? 519-776-5540. That's going to piss me off now. I'm going to be like, right, why am I going to get through? I'll ring you tonight and be like, I've just got through. Jesus, I found her. There we go. But yes, this is Fish Flyers issue number 3. Where Jeff Lemire is Canadian. There we go.
You probably just phoned Jeff Lemire.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Are we still on for Saturday? There we go.
Fancy a few beers?
There we go. Right. So it's that time of the show. That was a good one. That was a good way to end the show with no one picking up the phone, which I'm kind of used to. I ring you guys all the time and no one picks up. So there we go. It's the end of the show. Killer Covers scoreboard. Tom, what are the scores on the drawers with your big gun, Bobby?
So the scores on the doors, George Dawes, and in third place, as per usual, is Charlie with the McFarlane figure cover with 6%.
Oof, 6%.
Whoa,
Wow.
nice.
Wow.
How many votes is that? 1 or 2?
Yeah, Jeff's in Spoon's table 34. Let's send him a beer.
In joint first place with a joint 46% is both me and Peter. So we have to split it, I'm afraid.
There's something going on. There's something going on here, I have to say. There's something going on for the past year.
Yeah.
Fix.
I might start using your column. Mine's getting quite full up.
Yeah, start using mine. It's fine. It's okay. That's all right. It's all fun and games until you're fucking losing it every single week and you cry yourself into a stupor after the show. But hey ho, it is what it is.
Do you know
So,
what? I feel like I just
chicken
got
tonight.
sympathy votes. I think I got sympathy votes because I'm not going to be at Thoughtball when people felt sorry for me.
I don't think he did. No. I don't think he did. Anyway.
I think Andy sent his bots for me.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah. Does he want to send some bots to me as well? Anyway, we're at the end of the show where everyone can find out what they want to do and find out where to follow us. Same shit every single week, but we do it for your pleasure because we give you the information that you never knew you needed. Exactly. So, yes, Geeky Guy Comics, follow me over at Geeky Guy Comics on Instagram and Twitter as well. Tom, if you want to see him flex his pecs while eating sausage rolls and pastries in the nude while bench pressing a bus just for fun, head over to Instagram and find him at TomMadin_PT. Isn't that right, Thomas?
That is correct, my friend.
Today
I
is on
actually
menu.
have
I
got
shall
that.
bench presser's house.
I actually have got what you just said on the list of things to do.
What, bench press a fire engine?
Bench press a fire engine whilst shoving pasties down my throat.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And if you don't know anyone, the one at the bottom of the screen is royalty. His name is the Ginger Geordie Geek, aka Triple G. One of the nicest men, if not the nicest man on YouTube, and has a bigger Slazenger polo shirt collection than Sports Direct. It's the one and only Pete Triple G. What have you got for us? Where can we follow you?
Just as you've said, over on Instagram and YouTube at tripleg.comics or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, just my usual shit. Basically churning out my usual cack. So go check that out.
Churning out my usual cack.
There we go. Look at that. And Ed Vick has said, "Oh, anyone got a spare million to spend on C-3PO's shiny helmet? Apparently, Anthony Daniels is flogging off a load of stuff." Well,
no, but if you got an extra £3, we can give you Charlie's shiny helmet.
I was literally just about to say, past midnight at Thought Bubble, Andy and James will get out their shiny helmets.
Yeah.
The Mitchell brothers.
It's honestly, it's like looking at Right Said Fred. Through rose-tinted glasses. There we go. And then the comic room has said, going to be at T-Bub on Saturday. Hope to see you guys there. Indeed. Come up and say hello. It will be interesting. And then we are now at the Killer Comics show. Sneak peek for next week. There ain't no sneak peek for next week. There isn't. Because I think what we're going to do, we're just going to decide what comics we want to pick. We're going to put them up, and we're also going to probably put some Thought Bubble stuff up as well. And then Tom, as he has actually suggested that we just do a live stream of him in spandex, in like a Borat mankini, doing push-ups while people put Cornish pasties on his back, and he's got to see how good his pose is to keep the balance going, which is interesting. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
We need to get the
give it
views
to people.
somehow.
Just
Why
giving
did you
people the
not-
content they want.
Why did you not ask me to wear my spandex mankini?
Oh no, you are the one.
You're next
putting-
week.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're next week. Yeah,
I'm next week. Okay.
yeah. There you go. There we go. But what a fantastic show! What a great way to end the week and get ready for T-Bubs. T-Bubs with a tantalising tickle on the.
Did he?
What did we say they were?
Tantalising.
don't know.
Fidget spinners. Tantalising tickle on the fidget spinners. There we go. So, have we got anything to show off, lads?
Yes.
No,
You
Couple of
liar,
bits.
Tom. You said you've got something special to show us.
no. Pete has.
I've got something sexy.
Well, I want to see something special. Show me. Show me.
Well, I've got a couple of things to show off. So, you know, I'm a big movies fan.
No,
I do like a
didn't
nice
know that.
movie. So I've got this. This is a room key to the Continental off of John Wick.
Wow.
It could be.
No way.
The what do you call it? The Blood Oath disc, and then you get
Come on, man.
the Adjudicator coin. And then I've
That's
got
wicked.
4 of these. 4 of the
The
gold
coins.
coins
Where did
They're
you get
quite
them
nice.
from?
off of eBay. So I got them as a set from eBay. So they're quite nice.
That's
I like them.
wicked.
Yeah. So I'm going to get the John Wick hot toy figure to go with those. I then picked up this Murder Falcon. I know you guys have got this
Is that
This
you got the hardcover?
hardcover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. I haven't read it yet, but I'm really looking forward to getting it.
Oh, that's wicked. It's wicked.
But and this is all Tom's fault. You know I love Star Wars, so I had to get this, which Tom talked about a little while ago.
How much
Old
it cost?
Man Logan. So yeah, really true.
How much does that set you back? Out of
It was
interest.
pricey, but the only difficulty with it is some twat has written inside it and drawn a little picture.
Oh,
Bit of a
that's
shame.
amazing.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's incredible. Is it good?
Pete,
Have you
you
read it?
teed that
I
up well,
haven't read it
man.
yet. I haven't
You
read it
teed
yet.
that up so good. You teed that up with that was good.
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
was like, no way,
very,
some
very
twat's
cool.
drawn in it. Wicked.
Very cool. So over the moon
I
to
love
get
that.
I'm going to have a read of it. The artwork inside is stunning, as you'd expect.
I love his artwork. I think his artwork's fantastic.
I need to get that. That's on
looks
my. I
amazing.
literally have a list now of Daniel Warren Johnson stuff.
Really hard to find, to be honest. The
Where'd you get that on eBay?
eBay, yeah, from America. So it took ages to get here. And the postage.
Did you find it difficult to find one that wasn't slabbed?
Yeah,
Because I keep looking for stuff and it's like, yeah, you can find it, but it's slabbed. I was like, I don't want a slabbed one, so I want to read
I
it.
want to read it.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's got, obviously with it having the sketch inside, I don't think I will get it slabbed because then you
No.
can't see.
You can't
the
see it. Yeah,
content,
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
So yeah, over the moon to get that. So I think I've got a canny bit of Daniel Warren Johnson's stuff now. I'd love to get a commission from. I've seen some of these commissioned Transformer covers, which are just ridiculous. So yeah, I'd love to get one of those.
Get in contact with Felix Art.
Yeah.
Get on their mailing list, and they'll let you know when his commission list comes available. Because I'm going to do the same. Basically, that's all I'm saving for now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saving for that because I've got no cash. But when I've sold some of these bad boys, I'll be reinvested in a Daniel Warren Johnson original.
Perfect. Well, I haven't got anything to show off, but it's been a good show. It's been a very, very good show. I'm gutted, as I said at the start of the show, Tom. I'm gutted you're not coming to Thought Bubble this year. But I'll be happy to know that you will be sitting there over the weekend, just gently stroking your sausage. So
I'll
that
be
settles my
doing
heart.
that all weekend, mate.
I was going
That
already doing it.
settles my beating heart. That does. But yeah, I'm looking forward
Doing
to
it
it.
right now.
Looking forward to seeing Andy, Bat Dan, Von Hoot, Triple G, James, Edvic. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. It's going to be a messy weekend. We'll be sensible-ish. We might play the Weatherspoons game-ish. We might have some banana shots. Might do something stupid like the fucking, I don't know, some stupid sweet. Hey,
I've
Pete,
got sour balls.
have you? Give him a wash.
Just see.
Just give him a wash. There we go. But it's been fantastic. I assume, Pete, you don't have any shows going live this weekend, or do you?
Probably.
Probably. Why not?
I want to see a live
from
show.
Weatherspoons. There we go. But it's been fantastic. As always, enjoy the comics that you're reading. Live life to the fullest. And is there anything else we want to say, lads, before we sign off and sail off into the yonder that is Thought Bubble?
Stay safe.
Stay sausage.
Stay geek.
See you later.
Stay sausage. Stay sausage.